So what's up, guys? I wanted to talk about the Illuminati and the Freemasons. Now, this is a really interesting topic. I didn't even know anything about it until I started researching it. And then once I started talking about it, I was kind of weirded out because I found out that actually I had a great uncle that was in the Freemasons. I found out, I was talking to somebody at the gym, and I found out that their grandpa was a Mason or something weird like that. And it's crazy, okay? So I started researching this whole thing, and basically what the Freemasons are is it's a secret society of people, and it goes all the way back to the founding fathers of the United States. There's things related to the Freemasons, related to the Illuminati, that are printed on our money. Like, for instance, here, I'll show you. You guys have probably all seen this right here, $1 bill, but you see that pyramid right there? Let me get up to the camera there. See that pyramid right there? So that is actually an Illuminati symbol. Okay, and it was actually approved by, I believe it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, going back to the 1930s, who was a Freemason. And basically what that symbol represents is an elite ruling class of affluent, powerful, rich people, whatever you want to call them, that essentially dictate to the rest of the world how things should be. So it represents almost this ruling class that basically bosses the rest of us around. And it's really crazy because there is literally a strategy, if you will, to essentially try to control and take over the world. And it's not a conspiracy theory. There's actually a lot of evidence. There's a lot of things going into this. And the real question is whether or not these forces that are at work can actually pull this off or not. So it's a really interesting subject. I'd recommend researching it. If you have not researched it, you haven't looked into this stuff, it is super interesting. It is very, very interesting. There's a lot of stuff behind it. And I didn't actually realize this because, I've been kind of told my whole life that America is a nation that was founded on Christian values and on and on and on. And that is true to an extent, but that's actually been mixed in with a lot of Freemasonry, witchcraft, things like that have actually been a part of the nation's founding since its inception. And it's really interesting because with Freemasonry, what they essentially do is they say, hey, you can join us. It's not going to compromise your Christian values to be a part of our secret organization. Now, it's also interesting because there's so much of this that ties into the Hollywood and the mainstream media, and it just goes really, really deep. So I recommend doing your research on it. I can't get into it because if I were to try to compile all the research, put it into some kind of book or format or video or something that makes sense, it could literally be a 2, 3, 4, 5-hour documentary because there is so much information. It's absolutely insane. So I highly recommend doing your research on this stuff. It's crazy. I mean, it is absolutely mind-blowing, the kinds of things that have gone on, the kinds of things that have been exposed. And, it's just wild. I mean, I'm going to try to figure out how to talk about it without getting into it too much. But I just recommend doing your research. There's just a lot of things going on behind the scenes that people just aren't aware of. And, I kind of always thought of the United States as being a virtuous government or a virtuous system growing up because that's kind of what you're taught. But once you kind of realize a lot of the stuff that's going on, the special interest groups that control Washington, who actually influences things and actually helps kind of make decisions, and it really does come back to, I guess, the power of money, the power of influence, and things like that. Because let's just say you're a politician, you're running for a specific office, somebody comes along to you and says, hey, I'll put you in that office, and gives you all the money and all that, and invites you to kind of join their society, and they kind of slowly suck you in. Well, next thing you know, you might be, I guess, being asked to do certain favors or things because that person helped put you in office, and maybe they have evidence on you that can destroy your reputation and pull you out of office, right? So what are you supposed to do? So there's all kinds of crazy situations like that. And it's really interesting. It's hard to speculate because nobody's really been able to investigate it. There's been former people from different intelligence agencies and the FBI that have come out and said that these organizations exist, had different cases related to this stuff, but nobody's been able to comprehensively dive into it because it's so integrated into our society much more than you realize. So, and again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you, if you look at the evidence that has come out about these kinds of things, it's super interesting. You should definitely look into it. Take your time to do your research, look at things that have been published, people that have come out and started to talk about a lot of the things going on behind the scenes, because it is very, very interesting. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. Have a lot more content coming your way on all kinds of crazy subjects, including politics, sports, whatever the heck I want to talk about, man. This is my variety show. I can talk about whatever I want. So feel free to subscribe. We'll have a lot of fun content coming your way.